Hi faves, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make puff puff in bulk. So if you are looking to make puff puff in bulk, maybe you want to start selling it or you want to make it for a party, this video is for you. So watch, sit back, relax and watch. The first thing you're going to do is to make sure that you sift your flour. Sifting your flour has so many advantages, which include that you do not get to eat sand or impurities in your flour. So the first thing that we like to do is to sift our flour. Don't worry, I'll leave all the detailed measurements in the description box for you to see. So now what we are doing is sifting our flour at first. And like I always say, you need a large bowl to mix this. So if you don't have a bowl, if you don't have a Nigerians call this bath, okay? If you don't have this kind of bath, you need a large bowl to mix this. Approximately, we're making about 2.5 kg of flour we're using 2.5 kg of flour for the puff puff, but you can even use more than that. All you have to do is divide, multiply, or anyhow to this recipe. So don't worry, I'll leave the details of the measurement in the description box. After sifting our flour, we're going to move on to the next ingredient. One of the major ingredients in puff puff after flour and all of that is sugar. You guessed right. Sugar is very important. So, like I said, I will leave the detailed ingredients in the description box. The next thing we're going to add is some yeast. You need yeast to make your puff puff rise. Yeast is that agent in your puff puff that would make it rise. That is what is even making it puff safe. So you need yeast for your puff puff. Okay. You also need some salt. Yes, you need salt for your puff puff, and you also need nutmeg. Nutmeg gives it a very distinct flavor and taste. Then you also need this vanilla powder, flavor powder. This is optional, you can choose to use this or not, but it is really good. It gives your puff puff a better taste. The next thing you're going to do is to mix this thoroughly. You want to ensure that the yeast is evenly distributed in the flour, so there are no parts that, let's say for now, one part the yeast not reach abi the flour ahead. You want everything to be well distributed. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more amazing content like this. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome, welcome, welcome. So the next thing we're going to be adding now is our warm water. You don't want to use hot water, and you don't also want to use like lukewarm water. You want to use water that is warm so that it can help you to activate the yeast, okay? So we're going to pour our water now gently in batches like so, to make sure that they are well distributed. And after pouring our water, we're just going to continue to mix this to ensure that this is well combined. Some people can add milk at this point, but this is like bulk puff puff, so you don't need milk, except maybe you have a budget for that. But milk is totally optional. So now we're going to continue to mix this to make sure that the water and the dry ingredients, they form a dough like abi a no a watery dough like texture sha. So you see how we'll continue to mix this. We'll mix it thoroughly. I'll leave the detailed measurement of for that water in the description box as well. So you're going to continue to mix this. You mix it with your hands. Make sure you wash your hand properly because you are cooking for a large audience, like I always say, and you need to make sure that your hygiene level is on point. So when you get something that looks like this, you know that your puff puff dough is almost ready. But it's not yet ready, oh, but this is already looking like what we're talking about. So you leave this to rest for about 45 minutes. We're going to cover this and go on with our other activities. We'll leave this for 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, we'll come back and your puff should have doubled in size. This is what you want to see. If you use bad yeast, your puff will not be like this. But if you use correct yeast, this is how your puff will look like after 45 minutes of leaving your puff. So what she's doing now is that she's trying to deflate the excess air in the puff because if you go ahead and fry it like this, it's not going to turn out nice. Your puff is not good, it's going to be shapeless. So you want to deflate any excess air in your puff, and there is she teaching you how to cut your puff. So you just let it drop from your thumb, the hole in your thumb and your index finger. Mhm. Okay, the second finger, I don't know whether it's called index finger, sha. So now we're going to add some oil to our pan. Puff puff requires a lot of oil, so if you are at Team Fit Farm or more, puff puff is probably not for you because puff puff is an oil affair, and you need to make sure that your oil is enough so that your puff puff do not burn or your puff puff just comes out really nice. So for puff puff, you need a lot of oil, my friends. You need a lot of oil. Now this is me also showing you how to cut your puff puff again. So you see that. Mhm. You drag it to the edge of the bowl and then you let it drop in the hole for in your thumb and your index finger. Now, once your oil is hot, you're going to let it drop like so. You're going to start cutting your puff puff into the oil to fry. This is a very interesting part for me because it's so interesting, but as interesting it is also arm exercise because after a while I started hailing those women that sell puff puff on the road because come on, they do a lot of work because gee, even though this puff puff is looking gorgeous and all of that, the the cutting part is fun, but then again, to get to a point, your hand might start paining you, but just it's part of what you have to do. One of the secrets I like to do when I'm frying my puff puff is that I like to make sure that the puff puff number is dense, so the puff puff will fry evenly. And also, you want to turn your puff puff when you are frying it so that it's not just fry on one side and not fry on the other side. So you want to flip it over the ones that are already browning underneath. You want to flip them over and make sure that they are well fried. Everything is well fried. Sometimes all of them might not turn out, they might not be ready at the same time because you are not putting them in the oil at the same time. So you just want to take out the ones that are already brown. You can see that one part of my pan is already brown. I'm going to take out that part from my oil, and then I'll just leave the other part to keep frying. Frying puff puff is such an interesting thing for me to do because the puff puff is just beautiful. This whole recipe gave us close to 200 balls of puff puff, depending on how it can give you more than that. It depends on how you choose to cut it. If you cut it like really really tiny, for instance, this size of puff puff will be sold for about 20 to 50 naira because formerly this one was sold for like 10 naira, but not in this economy anymore. So this size of puff puff can be sold for like 20 naira, maybe like you can sell it for 15 naira, or you can sell it for 20 naira, or you can sell it for 15 naira self in some areas. Or you can even make it more expensive and sell it for 4,800 like some people have been doing. You can do that, but whichever ways, you can get more pop-off balls from this. We got about 200 to 150. No, apparently more than 150 because we packed it in a pack of 5 for 30 people, and we still had enough to eat afterwards. So sometimes you don't wait till the whole batch is fried. Once some parts are getting fried, you start adding new batches to it. So that's what it is. So you just keep frying and frying and frying and frying. Making pop off is really really interesting, and making it in, whether you're making it in batch, whether you're making it for home eating, making pop off is an interesting thing to do because the puff puff is just so beautiful. The way it enters the oil and it starts to float on the top. Ah, it's so so much fun. So if you are looking to, you can choose to make this for like maybe your friends, or maybe when you have like a party, you can choose to make puff puff for them. If you follow this recipe, everyone is going to say that you are a master puff puff maker. It's not every time that you start ordering small chops outside. You can make it yourself at home in the comfort of your house. That's the purpose of this video, to teach you how to make your own puff puff, how to be your own caterer. So okay, if you follow this video, if you follow this recipe to the T, you're going to be able to make puff puff in large, like in bulk. Mhm. And I know that you might be wondering, okay, Gracie, so what are you going to do with all of this puff puff like this? Me, I'm not eating all this puff puff, and I don't even have any occasion. But I I will be sharing this puff puff to some people, my neighbors, my friends, people on my street, children on my street. That's what I do with this. When anytime I make all these bulk recipes, most of the time I'm sharing it out, I'm giving it out to people, because if I sit down to eat all of this in my next video, maybe I'll be like 10 times fat or something. But no, so I'll be sharing this puff puff to people on my street. I'll be giving it to some children that used to say hi hi, that used to greet me on the street. So I'll give them this puff puff. And I even made it more interesting. You want to watch till the end to see what I did with it. You'll be very, very amazed. So this is why it's very important for you to flip your puff-puff over. As you can see, some of the puff-puff is already getting brown in one side, while on the other side is not even brown enough. That's why you want to be flipping your puff-puff when you are frying, so that it will not fry on one side. This one now, I had to take it out of the oil because one part was already really like so brown, and I didn't want that for my puff-puff at all. So once my pop off is ready, I'm going to take it out of the oil, and I'm just going to allow it to cool down before you see what I told you that I will do with the puff puff. So you can even sell this puff puff. You can gift it to your friends as small chops, or anytime you have maybe an occasion and somebody says, "Can you make puff puff in bulk?" Just come and watch this video, and everybody will say, this girl is a pro chef, or this man is a pro chef." But they don't know that it's me and you that know the secret. So I'm very, very sure that you find this video very valuable and very helpful. So please share it to your friends, share it to your family, share it to everybody that you know, because I'm sure that they will also find it very valuable as well. So once this pop puff has cooled down, I shared it into a pack of 5. I got this tiny pretty pack. I shared it into a pack of 5, and I tried to recreate the popular 4,000 naira, 4,800 naira perform, even though I didn't use Oreos, because I cannot afford to buy Oreos because this is like something I share out to people. So I couldn't afford to buy Oreos. So I used a cheaper version of biscuit. I added some milk to this, and I distributed the milk all over the puff puff. And this one is pawpaw for sweet tooth, people that have like sweet tooth, because even me, I couldn't eat this pawpaw because it was really too sweet for me. But I was trying to create that what do I call it now? That's 8 4,800 naira pawpaw vibe. So yes, I added some condensed milk to this, and I'm sure that everyone that tasted this pawpaw will say that, oh my god, this is the best thing that they have ever had in their lives. Because this one is super sweet and super like, now, okay, everything in life is all about packaging. The way this pop-off is now, if I say I want to sell it for like 1,200 naira, someone is going to buy it. But if you leave it the way it was before, you can sell it for, the max you can sell that puff for is like, let's say 200 to 300 naira at most. But now that you have added a lot of serene to it, you can even sell it for like 1 2, and people will buy this for 1 2. Yeah. So everything is business and everything is packaging. So this is my puff puff. I made 30 packs. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.